My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're here today in first appearance magistrate court. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have the right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail and we have Mr. Reedy to my right in the courtroom. We have also Assistant State Attorney Eric Linder and we have Danae Meminger as the clerk. So let's start out. We have someone in the courtroom that we reset from this afternoon who is James Gillian. Good morning, sir, or good afternoon, sir. All right, so you have a court order misdemeanor. It says it's not for magistrate. It's a no bond hold. You went and saw Judge Shulman this morning? All right, so you resolved all of that, or? Okay, so then the only thing left here for you is a capious misdemeanor with a $500 bond. It's a compulsory school attendance violation. Do you have anything holding you? Are you in Metro West Detention Center in Miami? Yes. Don't tell me about the facts of the case. I just want to know, does he have a Dade County hold?
Yes.
Does anybody know how long he's going to be down there? Or what it's for?
I'm not sure. I know he's scheduled to see Judge Pohl tomorrow morning.
All right. All right, so tomorrow morning there's a $500 bond. I don't know what's going on in Miami. I'll change it to a $1 bond. Obviously, you're not going to bond out, but just in case you go down to Dade and resolve whatever it is down there, you just have a $1 bond here. So tomorrow you will go before Judge Pohl on the compulsory school attendance violation, and you'll see him at 8:30 a.m., okay? Good luck to you, sir. Did you give this lady, hold on.
Yes, I did.
All right, so you have your paperwork. Sure. When you say home, where do you mean?
So my parents, because I'm the only child and my parents are very sick.
The only thing I can tell you, ma'am, is you're going to Georgia. That's what you waived, your right to extradition. You got to deal with those charges up there, okay? So you're going to have to find somebody to help you with your parents. Good luck to you, ma'am. No, you don't go home the other way. You stay in jail. So you're going to have to be transported up to Georgia. They'll come pick you up, yes. Huh? Here, wait a second. Let's go back to Betsy Espinoza, please. Thank you, deputies.
No problem, Your Honor. No problem.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, Ms. Espinoza, good morning or good afternoon, ma'am. You have DUI, alcohol or drugs, second offense, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is DUI, unlawful blood alcohol level above a .15. $1,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of an open container in a motor vehicle, not for magistrate. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Count 4 is failure to use a designated signal lane, not for magistrate. The last 2 are civil citations. Total bond is $2,000. Court does find probable cause. State, does she have any priors?
One moment, Judge.
Ma'am, how long have you lived in Florida?
She's lived here all her life, Judge.
All right.
She's been living at the same address for the last 15 years. She lives with her aunt and her 2 children.
All right, let
who
me
are
just
ages 6
verify
and
her
12.
address. Because I'm gonna
Okay.
ROR her if she has no priors. 6931 Sheridan Street, Hollywood, Florida.
No, 6850 Southwest 36th Street, Miramar, Florida.
All right, say it again, 6850 Southwest.
36th Street, Miramar, Florida.
Is there an apartment number, ma'am?
Is a house.
What's the zip code if you know it?
33023.
All right, if you move from that address, you have to advise the clerk of the court in writing with your case number and your attorney immediately of your new address. And you can also look up your new court date if you don't get it in the mail
Yes.
online, www.browardclerk.org. What say you, state?
Just one moment.
Let me know if you agree to an ROR.
I don't.
Okay.
Looks like she got it out of.
Is this a second offense? It is a second
I'm
offense.
checking that, but also I see, I'm showing in FCIC that she was released from state prison in '03 for robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily asking that a bond be imposed, but based on the totality of the circumstances or breath results, I would ask for a pretrial.
Do we have a driving record on this lady? When was her prior DUI?
One moment, Judge. So there was a DUI arrest in.
2009. Does anybody know what happened with it?
Looks like it was dropped.
Okay, so this is a first offense?
One moment.
Do you have her driving record? Madam Clerk? This is Betsy Espinoza, Betsy Gloria Espinoza. Thank you.
It would appear so.
In light of that, Judge, and I know she does have this other incident in her past, but that's a long time ago. I'd ask the court to consider an ROR.
What's your client do for a living?
She cleans houses, Judge. She's self-employed. She's been doing that for the last 3 years.
She also has pending felony out of Dade County. Trafficking in cannabis, possession of cannabis with intent to sell, deliver within 1,000 feet of a school, child neglect, possession of controlled substance with a minor being present.
I'm gonna order no alcohol or intoxicants. I'm gonna put her on standard pretrial supervision. I am gonna keep the $1,000 bond in place on count 1, ROR on count 2. No alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at her expense. Prescription medication is allowed as prescribed. So that means, ma'am, when you get out of jail, you have 24 hours after your release to report to pretrial services. Did you say she has a pending hold or just a pending case?
No, pending charges. There's
Okay,
no hold on.
but does she have a hold on her for Dade? Devin? No. Okay, just wanted to check, all right. Okay, so prescription medication allowed as prescribed. You have to report, ma'am. The deputy will give you a map within 24 hours of your release. I want you calling in twice a week, report once a month, in person. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
I'll call your family.
Thank you.
Marcia O'Shea,
North Broward.
good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Judge.
You have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. DUI, alcohol or drugs, $1,000 bond. Possess and or use drug paraphernalia. Refusal to submit to a DUI test. And then you have failure to use designated single lane. And failure to wear safety belt, no bond required. for that either. It's actually a traffic infraction, the last two. So we have a total of $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What's her prior state?
This is a second DUI. She has a prior DUI in 2010. Your Honor, based on her prior DUI, and I am concerned about the statements she allegedly made to law enforcement that are mentioned at the very end of the report, I'd be requesting that the court either keep the bond in place or that she be released to pretrial with an order of no alcohol or a condition, no alcohol or intoxicants and random testing.
That's fine, Judge. If you'd leave the bonds in place. I spoke with her mother. Her mother's going to bond her out. And she does live with her parents. She's been living with her parents all her life.
I'm gonna put her on pretrial. This is her second DUI. She's gonna have to report within 24 hours of her release. I am gonna do random alcohol and no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at your expense. If they catch you, ma'am, doing any type of alcohol or intoxicants, you're gonna be back here on a no bond hold, so it's very important, okay? All right, and prescription medications are allowed as prescribed. I am gonna keep the $1,000 bond in place on count 2. I'm gonna have you calling in 4 times a week, report once a month in person. And the first step that you have to do that's the most important is you have a map in front of you. It's right by the main jail and the main courthouse. You're gonna have to report to pretrial services within 24 hours of your release. If you don't, there'll be a warrant issued and they'll instruct you on what you have to do. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
All right, I'll call your mom and let her know what happened, okay?
Monica Velez, please.
On it. Know what that is?
Probable cause is found. Then we have Shanae Octavia Morton, please. Paul Ryan. All right. Hello, ma'am. You have burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed. Court does find probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor, I provided the court
Change of charge.
paperwork, yes. It's now charged as a burglary dwelling not occupied, but it's still, as the court's aware, either way, a second-degree felony. I printed out a report for both Your Honor and defense counsel. As you can see, this isn't a situation where it was misbooked originally as an occupied burglary and the state corrected it. It clearly is, the allegations are clearly that this residence was occupied when...
So why does it say unoccupied?
Your Honor, because the reason is frankly, since whether it's a burglary of an occupied dwelling and burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, it's a second-degree felony either way. This way, there's one less element that has to be proven, Your Honor. But it's still, as far as the consequences, the same. The allegations are still the same as they were when Your Honor first found probable cause and the state and defense agreed upon a $7,500 bond.
I understand, but now you're saying it's occupied. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying it is a difference because now the charge is unoccupied.
It's, yes, but there's no consequences to the difference, Your Honor. She's still facing a second-degree felony. She's not, it's not as though it was a down file from a burglary dwelling to...
I get it. I'm just making a comment for the record.
Okay,
That's all. I'm just saying, before it says occupied, now there's a change of charge to unoccupied.
yes.
Okay. So what say you, defense?
Was this, did I understand the state to say this was an agreed-upon bond?
According
Yes,
to
it
the
was. It
findings,
was
yes.
first state and defense.
Between, who was representing Miss Morton
I have
at
no
that
idea. I
time?
have $7,500 bond.
Was it a public defender?
I have no idea.
Could have
I just,
been Mr. Forberic or whoever. It was 1029.
no idea. I'm just going by
That
what I
was
saw
a
in the
Monday. I
findings.
think you were out.
Yes, I was on vacation Monday. All right, if that's what you all agreed on, I think that it still is
Can
a
she pay
second-degree
that?
felony, so.
What,
Okay, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
And I believe she's being arraigned on Monday, I think.
Okay.
I'll check to confirm, but.
Yes, she has December 3rd, you have court, Miss Morton.
Okay.
Okay? Good luck to you.
All right, so hold on. $7,500 bond per the agreement of the state and defense. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with CQC, and no return to 212 Lake Point Drive, Oakland Park, Florida. Okay, ma'am, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You can give that to the bailiff. Okay. Oh, and this one goes with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anthony Morales, please.
North Broward.
North Broward.
He's a number you said, John.
Okay, thank you, Deputy. Ryan Pocatera.
Bonded.
Okay, the court finds probable cause. Samuel Quesada.
He's here present, Judge at Maine.
Okay, Main Jail. Good morning, Mr. Quesada. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Okay, you're being charged with a DUI with an unlawful blood alcohol level 0.15 or above. It says you blew a 0.157 and a 0.144 on your second sample. Court does find probable cause, bond set at $1,000. Can you pay that?
Judge, my understanding is this is his first arrest ever in his life. He's a registered voter.
Okay, please answer my question first. Can he pay it?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I asked a question and you're not responding.
Unusual. The person that was here before, I believe I'm...
You know what, Mr. Romero? I just want you to answer my questions. We're not comparing it case to case. I just asked you a question, so if you want to argue for your client, go ahead.
I'm asking for an ROR if the state can confirm this is his first arrest, Judge.
Okay,
I see no history, Your Honor.
okay, so then I will ROR. Thank you. Dustin Burke.
North Broward.
North Broward. Mr. Burke, good morning, sir. You have add charges, counts 28 and 29, burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State, on count 28 and any other special conditions?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a bond in the amount of $2,500 on 28. Order of no victim contact. With the
Excuse me, can I ask what the probable cause is?
Okay, one moment, sir, okay?
Be requesting, well, do you want?
Go ahead,
Well,
just
okay.
go ahead and continue, and then we'll have his attorney answer.
Sure, no victim contact with DL. Just noting, Your Honor, he has multiple no bond holds. Well, he has a no bond hold on for a violation of pretrial, and has about between $15,000 to $20,000 worth of bonds on his other 22 counts for illegal use of credit card, receiving stolen credit card, fraudulent use of ID of another without consent, and grand theft.
Okay. All right, so would you like to respond to your client's question, Mr. Reedy?
I already answered his question, Judge. This happened October 29th, by the way, Mr. Burke.
What is the probable cause?
The probable cause is that you're seen on video breaking into a car. Judge, I'd ask for a $1,000 bond on count 28. He's got a no bond hold on several other charges that are currently pending.
I'm sorry, say that again, the amount?
I'd ask for a $1,000 bond, Judge. He has to go in front of his division judge to get a bond on his other cases anyway.
All right, so I'll do 1,000 on 28, 1,000 on 29. No victim contact, direct or indirect with DML. No return to the load, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you.
I see y'all when I get out.
All right, I won't take that as a threat. Michael Dyer.
He's here at Maine, Judge.
Main Jail. Mr. Dyer, good afternoon, sir. You have grand theft of a firearm, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. No bond required. Court does find probable cause.
I have an issue with the probable cause on count 1, Judge.
Okay,
There's nothing in here that indicates Mr. Dyer stole this gun or stole this firearm. He's never seen in possession of it. Nobody sees him take it. All we have is a statement by a victim with no details contained in the probable cause affidavit as to what she may have seen. So there's nothing connecting him to the crime.
That's fine, Your Honor. I'll ask for 24 hours.
okay, so no PC. I am gonna, in the meantime, leave a $1,000 bond in place. Possession of cannabis, do you have any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so PC for count 2 only. And we'll continue it for 24 hours to Friday on 11:30, 8:30, or 1 p.m.?
1 p.m., please.
1 p.m.?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So in the meantime, sir, Mr. Dyer, if you want to bond out on $1,000, you can. If not, we are gonna wait till tomorrow to determine if there's probable cause. This is only on count 1. I am finding probable cause on the possession of cannabis under 20 grams. There's no bond required on that. But tomorrow we have court at 1 p.m. on the probable cause, okay? Good luck to you, sir. Brendan Applegate.
Mr. Applegate is here at Maine. He has private counsel, Mickey Rowe.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Roque, advised him that Mr. Applegate has court tomorrow morning. He's currently filing some motions on Mr. Applegate's behalf, and just asked the court to leave the bonds in place on count 2 and 3. He has a no bond hold on count 1, and Mr. Roque will see him in court tomorrow morning in front of Judge Duffy.
All right, sir, so you have a violation of a warrant for a violation of pretrial, not for magistrate. You have uttering a false instrument fraud, $1,000 bond, grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Your attorney said that he'll see you tomorrow morning in front of Judge Duffy at 8:30 a.m. I'm gonna leave the $2,000 bonds in place. Good luck, sir. Ronald Pimentel.
He's here at Maine.
All right, Mr. Pimentel, you have robbery by sudden snatching without a firearm or weapon. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is criminal mischief over $1,000. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials A, B. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm requesting a $5,000 bond on count 1, requesting that the $5,000 on 1, requesting the $500 bond on count 2 be kept in place. Based on the allegations in Mr. Pimentel's history, 2017, resisting without violence and trespass. 2011, he was convicted of aggravated battery with a firearm and aggravated battery against a pregnant victim. And it looks like he violated his probation in that matter.
All right, so what say? you have
I'm sorry,
something?
I just came across, and I'm showing in 2011, he had an aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer out of Dade County.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, it's been Mr. Pimentel. He's 26 years old, been here almost his entire life. He's self-employed. He sells beauty products. On a great month, he can make up to about $800 doing that. He lives with his father in Miramar. His father is retired. He was a former correction officer. Mr. Pimentel is asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release, and we're going to be asking the court to enter an order so we can photograph the injuries that Mr. Pimentel sustained.
All right, I'll grant your order for a photo request. Court's gonna set bond at $5,000 on count 1, and on count 2, the court will do a $1 bond or ROR, it's up to you. No victim contact, direct or indirect with AB, and maintain a minimum of 500 feet. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
ROR on count 2, Judge, what we're requesting.
ROR on 2 then. Jose Carlos Enriquez, please.
Mr. Enriquez is here present in Maine. He has private counsel, Mr. Alex Ariaza.
I left a message for Mr. Ariaza. I have not heard back from him.
All right. Does he represent him on these KPS traffic?
Without having spoken to him, I really don't know, Judge. I know that Mr. Enriquez has no bond. Capias is on 6 and 7.
All right, so why don't we just go ahead and magistrate him?
Hello?
All right, sir, so you have
bye.
operating without a valid DL, $25. You have vehicle without lights at night, no, not for magistrate. You do have 2 KPS traffics. One's an ROR, the other one's a $500 bond.
With Judge Malika.
I'm taking out 5, 6, and 7.
Thank you. Bye.
They're not for magistrate? Can someone tell me?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Okay, so count 5 we'll keep in. That's a traffic for $1,000. Court does find probable cause. He does have 2 no bond holds, not for magistrate court. So, does he have a coming court date? He'll get one today, right? For the 2 capiases? Clerk to forthwith set hearings on KPS misdemeanor. So what happens is, because it's before a satellite judge, after court, you have to enter it into the computer, and he'll get a judge at Maine. Tomorrow he goes before that judge at Maine, so make sure it happens today. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Ferdinand Norlis,
Bonded.
thank you. Do we need a Spanish interpreter?
On their way, Judge.
Thank you. Khalib Williams,
Judge Monica, North Broward, he's in courtroom 617 for PM court.
all right, well, that's, okay, so then what we'll do is we'll reset him for tomorrow in the PM. Okay, thank you. Craig Crandon, please. Craig Crandon.
All right.
Oh, Ryan, thank you.
Ryan.
All right, Mr. Crandon, you have firearm by a convicted felon. You are going tomorrow before your judge, Barbara McCarthy. Well, it says 12/3, so I guess it is on Monday at 8:30 a.m., not tomorrow. We need to talk about bond. This is actually a change of charge to a firearm by a felon by, it says by felon by convicted felon.
Okay.
So I guess this is just, what is this
It's a
state?
technical change of charges.
All right, it's just a technicality with the name, the wording, it's still the same degree and everything. So, court does find probable cause.
Your Honor, set bond originally at $1,000.
Does
No,
he have
'cause
other charges?
there was a charge, one moment,
What else does he have holding him?
one moment, Your Honor. Okay. He also has a charge of discharging a firearm in public. There was never a bond attached to that charge. Your Honor originally set the bond on this count at $1,000 with conditions of no possession of any firearms, ammunitions, or weapon, no contact with, no victim contact, and it says apartment 102 neighbors, no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing, at defendant's expense, prescription meds allowed as prescribed. GPS open schedule with the psychological evaluation within 10 days of release and follow up with any recommendations, and a TAD monitor. This was, Your Honor, this, it might refresh your memory.
I remember.
Shooting into the canal. So, Your Honor, we'd just be requesting that the court.
So he can't get $1,000, he can't pay $1,000 bond then?
Well, his bond was $6,000. There was discharge, there was shooting or throwing a deadly missile with a $5,000 bond. That was declined, so that bond is, he doesn't have that
So
bond.
my
holding.
question is, what is holding him, this $1,000 bond?
Yeah, Your Honor was asking if he couldn't post a $1,000 bond, and my answer, the reason I was saying that is I don't know, because he obviously couldn't post a $6,000 bond. I don't know about a $1,000.
All right, what say you, Mr. Reedy?
Can you post a $1,000 bond, Mr. Crandon?
No, sir, I'm waiting for a program.
You're waiting for a program. Which program are you waiting for, sir? What program?
House of Hope.
House of Hope.
How long
Okay.
have you been waiting for that?
I got an application for that a couple of days ago.
Okay.
All right, then I'd ask the court to leave it where it is, and hopefully Mr. Crandon can get into House of Hope. And,
Yeah, but then what about the $1,000 bond?
He's seeing Judge McCarthy on Monday.
I understand, but if he has a program, was there an order that was signed, or did you talk to Judge McCarthy about it, or your attorney?
My attorney, yes.
Did Judge McCarthy order for you to be able to go to House of Hope?
Not yet. I just filled out the application for that the other day. Like I said, I'm still waiting on an answer. And they asked me if I wanted to get out on bond. I said, no, I feel safer in here. So there's a problem. I was going to commit suicide.
So do you want to go to House of Hope? Do you feel safe there?
Yes.
All right, let's do let's do an order, custody to House of Hope, and if it needs to be changed, it can.
Two counts. Yes.
All right, let me pull this up, because I don't understand what everybody's saying. I thought there was only 2 charges.
No, there is only 2 charges now. We only have one because discharging a firearm in public was filed as presented. It wasn't brought for first appearance.
I thought you said it wasn't filed.
No, I said shooting at her into an occupied dwelling or.
All right, let me pull this up, because I feel like I'm not getting it. Okay. according to BSO 6, he has a possession of a weapon, the case what you're on today, says HG, and we have discharged firearm for trial Elmo, so there's no bond attached to that. Is that correct, Ms. Patrice? What are the conditions of that pretrial Elmo, do you know? Is that this one?
Yes, ma'am, there was a pretrial order also.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. Mr. Reed, are you listening?
I am.
Okay, I'm not going to require a bond. I'm going to do GPS level 2, custody to House of Hope.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not to have any alcohol or intoxicants.
Yes, ma'am.
Random testing, which they're going to do anyway.
Yes.
And Ms. Patrice, if they do it at House of Hope, pretrial services doesn't need to do it, okay? That's fine. Prescription meds allowed as prescribed.
Yes, ma'am.
So HOH, drug tests. So you'll have to sign a release allowing the drug testing at House of Hope to go to pretrial,
Okay.
okay? I'll put House of Hope drug test to substitute for number 2 above. And then I have the GPS. Oh, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. So if he's there, we don't need a TAD monitor then, technically.
It's a closed facility anyway.
Do you want a TAD monitor if he goes to House of Hope?
It's fine.
All right, so we'll delete that, and then we have no victim contact, direct or indirect, sir, or no victim contact with apartment 102 neighbors. So I guess you can have indirect, walking by them or something, but you're not going to be doing that anyway.
Right.
All right, sir, thank you very much. Good luck
Yes,
to you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, sir, come on back. Thank you, Ms. Patrice. I just saw that. So let's talk about this. I do want a psychological evaluation, but I guess we'll do psychological evaluation at House of Hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Do they do them there, do we know?
Might be easier not to put the requirement where it actually happens. They may bring him someplace to have it done, for all we know, as long as it gets done.
I'll put at House of Hope or alternate facility. We'll do within 15 days. Make sure you put that in the order, or we'll do 10 days, keep it consistent. Release. So how does he do that if he's on a monitor and they don't do that at House of Hope, Miss Patrice? Because I don't want him violated for something he can't do.
Ordering to complete a psychological evaluation, and he's on a level 2 house arrest. And after he indicates that that's where he's going, it can always be verified that that's where he's going and what he's going to do. Because when you're on a level 2, you are permitted to do things like doctor's appointments, medical appointments, things like that.
I'm going to put, if not, bring issue back to court
I have a arraignment court Monday.
within 14 days. Do you hear that, Mr. Reedy?
Yes.
Mr. Reedy? Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Christopher McDavid. Oh, I'm sorry. Andre Newbold, is that it? Or is it for a second look?
Mr. Newbold is here present, ma'am.
Is that the one for a Spanish interpreter, or is it someone else? I'm sorry.
No, Miss, Spanish interpreter's on the second look docket, the gentleman's name is.
So, Mr. Newbold, take a seat. We have to take the Spanish interpreter case. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, sir?
I do. Esteban Rojas, Rojas.
Thank you. Okay.
Mr. Perez on page 6 of the, second
Merlin
look docket.
Perez Roque.
And his family here.
Okay, come on up. Is he just on the felony docket?
Yes. Should be easy.
Okay, good morning, or good afternoon, Mr. Perez.
Buenas tardes, señor Pérez.
You have burglary on occupied conveyance.
Usted está acusado de cometer hurto en un vehículo desocupado.
You either have to pay a $1,000 bond
Tiene que o pagar $1,000 de fianza
or verify where you're living.
o verificar su dirección.
Tell me what's happening here, Ms. Patrice.
Dime qué sucede aquí, señora Tris.
With him in the main jail.
Hablamos,
We had someone translate for us.
hablamos con él en la cárcel central y alguien actuó como intérprete.
He told us he had no contact information and no references.
Me dijo que nos dijo que no tenía información de contacto ni tampoco referencias
Told us he had nowhere to go.
y que no tenía a dónde ir.
All right, so who's here today? Do you speak English or do you need the services?
¿Quién
of
está
the-
acá hoy? ¿Hablan inglés o?
Yo soy la mamá de él.
I'm his mother.
Okay, stand closer to the interpreter, ma'am, so we can hear you in the
Parece cerca del
microphone.
intérprete para que lo oigamos en el micrófono.
Thank you for doing that. Okay, ma'am, please state your name, spell your last name.
Señora, diga su nombre y deletree su apellido.
Mi nombre
My name?
Yes, your name, ma'am.
Sí, su nombre.
es María Teresa Pérez.
Maria Teresa Perez.
And is Merlin Perez Roque your son?
¿Y Merlin Pérez Roth es su hijo?
Sí,
Yes.
Where do you live, ma'am?
¿Dónde vive usted, señora?
vivimos en la dirección.
Can you speak in the microphone, because we're recording everything?
7831 Southwest 10th Court, Apartment C.
Did you get that?
I didn't know he was speaking to me. They're talking way too low.
We live in 7831 Southwest 10th Court, Apartment C.
7831 Southwest.
Is that in North Lauderdale?
Mine's down. I logged out of it.
3068.
Oh, guess that is down.
Okay, does your son live with you, ma'am? And I'm talking about Merlin.
¿Su hijo vive con usted, señora? Me refiero a Merlin.
Sí,
Yes.
How long has he lived with you at that address?
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene de vivir con usted en esa dirección?
She has to speak into the microphone, ma'am. I'm sorry. We have to record everything. You're gonna have to be a little bit
tiene
louder.
Dos meses.
¿Cuánto?
2 meses.
2 months.
And is that an apartment that you rent, or is that a house that you own, ma'am?
¿Y eso es un apartamento que alquila o es una casa que es de su propiedad?
No, un apartamento que alquilo.
It's an apartment we rent.
And who's the person that signed the lease for the apartment?
¿Y quién está, a nombre de quién está el contrato de alquiler?
A nombre mío.
Mine.
Okay, all right, Ms. Patrice, we're gonna verify it then.
Señora Patrice, vamos a verificarlo.
Okay,
No escuché su nombre.
please say your name again,
¿Otra vez
ma'am.
su nombre?
María Teresa Pérez.
Maria Teresa Perez. Número de teléfono, por favor.
Es 954-822
954-822.
0773.
0773. Y la corte le está poniendo un monitor.
Says here, pretrial supervision pending.
Dice acá que las medidas cautelares están pendientes.
Let me go to the original order. Hold on.
En un inicio fueron las medidas cautelares de rigor.
What he was on before.
Le voy a poner lo que tenía antes.
My understanding is, Ms. Patrice, he's here because his address can't be verified.
Señora Patrice, él está acá, según tengo entendido, porque no se pudo verificar su dirección.
So let me go and look it up, but I'm not putting him, I'm putting him on the same thing, I'm just verifying his address.
Así que permítame buscarlo en el sistema. Le voy a poner lo mismo, simplemente estoy verificando su dirección.
Honestly, I don't have the case here, I don't know what it says if it's pretrial. Do you have the file, Devin?
Honestamente no tengo el caso acá, no sé
Does
si
it say
es,
anything else?
si tiene medidas cautelares. ¿Usted lo tiene, Debbie?
No victim contact, anything?
Simplemente dice que está pendiente la verificación.
I don't know, what did I say on there? Did I do it?
Pending verification.
So then do the 2 times a week, he has to call in,
Entonces, 2 veces por semana tiene que llamar,
report once a month in person.
reportarse en persona una vez por mes.
He doesn't have to report after court.
No tiene que reportarse después de sus citas, de sus audiencias ante la corte.
If he does not report within 24 hours of his release,
Pero si no se reporta dentro del plazo de 24 horas a más tardar después de ser liberado
to pretrial services,
a Pretrial Services, que es la oficina de medidas cautelares,
then he is going to have a warrant out for his arrest and he's going to end up back here.
entonces se va a emitir una orden de captura en su contra y va a terminar acá otra vez.
Okay?
¿Está bien?
Do you understand?
¿Entienden?
Sí, sí, entendí.
Yes, we understand.
No excuses. He has to report within 24 hours and the latest you can get there is 4 p.m.
Sin excusas. Tiene que reportarse a más tardar dentro del plazo de 24 horas y lo más tarde que puede ir hoy es 4 p.m.
So, Mr. Romero, do you want to write down his mother's phone number?
Señor Romero, ¿quiere apuntar el número de
Because he's
teléfono de
probably
la
going to
madre?
get out
Porque probablemente él va a salir.
maybe between 9 tonight and 1 or 2 in the morning.
Entre las 9 de la noche hoy y la 1 o las 2 de la madrugada.
And he can call his mother.
Y puede llamar a su
It's
madre.
954.
954.
Oh, you have it?
0773.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sí,
Thank
sí,
you.
ya lo tengo.
Ok, mira, este es el número de tu mamá cuando te liberan, llama a tu mamá para que te pueda recoger.
All right, so here's the other thing, ma'am.
Lo otro, señora, es lo siguiente.
I updated your address.
Actualicé su dirección.
If you move for some reason,
Si usted por alguna razón se pasa de casa,
your son has to update his address with the clerk of the court.
su hijo también tiene
In
que
writing.
actualizar su dirección con la Secretaría de la Corte. Tienen que hacerlo por escrito.
He can also go to browardclerk.org, look it up.
Puede ir a browardclerk.org y buscarlo.
I can assure you from my prior experience being here in court, if your son misses one court date or is late,
Y le aseguro, con base en la experiencia que yo ya tengo acumulada acá en el tribunal, que si su
They-
hijo falta a una sola audiencia o llega tarde,
the division judge will probably issue a no bond hold.
el juez de esta división probablemente va a emitir una orden de captura sin posibilidad de fianza.
So it's very important that he, arrive in court timely and early.
Así que es muy importante que él llegue a tiempo y temprano a sus audiencias.
All right, I'm going to impose one other condition. Does your son work?
Voy a imponerle una condición más. Su hijo trabaja.
Estaba trabajando, pero no.
She's got to talk in the mic.
He was working, but not every day.
Is he work? Do you want him to work?
¿Usted quiere que él trabaje?
Sí.
Yes.
What happened with his job?
¿Y qué pasó con el empleo que tenía?
No sé. Trabajamos en construcción y no sé, él amanecía a veces dormido.
He worked in construction, and I don't know, sometimes he just overslept and so on.
All right, well, I'm gonna do a curfew.
Bueno, voy a imponerle un toque de queda.
What time do you think he should be in the house at night?
¿A qué hora cree usted que debería él estar en casa ya, en las noches?
Ya a las 9.
9.
All right, he's gonna have a curfew from 9 p.m.
Bien, va a tener toque de queda de 9 p.m.
to what time? 5 or 6
hasta
a.m.?
que 5 o 6 a.m.
A las 5.
5.
Okay, to 5 a.m.
9 p.m. a 5 a.m.
Okay, if he gets a job and he wants to be out later than that, he has to show pretrial
Sí.
services proof.
Si obtiene empleo y él quiere salir más tarde que esa hora, entonces tiene que mostrarle a la oficina de medidas cautelares, tiene que darle pruebas de que tiene empleo.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Good luck. Good luck,
Gracias,
sir.
señora. Buena suerte. Buena suerte.
Gave him a
señora.
map, right?
Una pregunta.
Le dieron un croquis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A question.
Yes.
Sí.
Los $1,000, hay que, porque me mandaron a un fiancista.
The $1,000, I was sent to a bondsman.
No, there's no bondsman.
No, no hay fiancista.
He just has to, can he bond out?
¿Puede pagar la fianza?
No, ahorita no tenemos el dinero.
All right, there's no more $1,000 bond requirement.
Ya no hay fianza de $1,000.
He just has to report to pretrial services within 24 hours
Lo
of his
único que tiene
release.
que hacer es reportarse con la
And they're
oficina de
closed on the
medidas
weekend, so
cautelares
if he gets
en el
out
plazo de
tonight,
24 horas.
got to report by tomorrow, do you
Ellos
understand?
cierran el fin de semana. Eso significa que si él sale hoy en la noche, tiene que reportarse mañana en el transcurso del día.
No entiendo cómo es.
I don't understand.
All right. Your son has to report to pretrial,
Su
you don't have to
hijo-
pay a bond.
Usted no tiene que pagar fianza, su hijo tiene que reportarse.
I put your son on pretrial supervision,
Le he impuesto medidas cautelares a su hijo.
which means your son has to report
Eso significa que él tiene que reportarse
to the pretrial services
a la
office.
oficina de medidas cautelares que se llama Pretrial Services.
Your son has that information of where it is.
Su hijo ya tiene la información de dónde queda.
It's actually by the main courthouse here. It's across the
Está
street.
al lado del tribunal
down the
central
street.
acá, en esta misma calle.
Okay, your son has a piece of paper with a map,
Su hijo tiene un croquis, le dieron un papel con un mapa.
and he has to report there by tomorrow by 4 p.m.
Tiene que reportarse a más tardar mañana, antes de las 4 p.m.
They will instruct him on what's required of him,
Ellos le van a decir lo que tiene que hacer.
which he has to call in 2 times a week,
Tiene que reportarse por teléfono 2 veces por semana,
report once a month in person,
reportarse una vez por mes en persona
and he has a curfew from 9 p.m.
y tiene un toque de queda desde las 9 p.m.
to 5 a.m. daily.
hasta las 5 a.m. todos los días.
So if he's caught somewhere
Así que si
outside
a él lo pescan en alguna parte fuera de la casa,
or something happens, he's going to be violated on his pretrial.
pasa algo, eso va a ser una violación de los términos de su excarcelación previa a juicio.
Will probably sit in jail on a no bond hold.
Y probablemente lo meterían a la cárcel sin posibilidad de fianza.
Okay?
¿Está bien?
Está bien.
Ok,
Thank you.
gracias.
And he has to also report once a month in person, if I
También
didn't say
tiene que
that
reportarse
already.
una vez por mes en persona.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Gracias, señora. Buena suerte.
Okay.
Okay, he'll give you, can you explain to her that they'll call her son will call him tonight from the courtesy phone at the jail.
Her son will call him.
The gentleman that was in jail, Mr. Perez, will call the mother or the
Ah, ok.
brother.
You said him. El señor Pérez, su
Or the
hijo,
brother,
lo va a
whoever.
llamar a él o a usted hoy en la noche, desde la cárcel, porque a ellos les dan un teléfono.
Okay.
Ok,
Thank you, ma'am.
gracias, señora.
Gracias.
Thank you. Are there any other Spanish cases, Your Honor?
I don't think so. If you want to make an announcement, make an announcement.
¿Alguien más necesita interpretación?
North Broward? North Broward, Spanish interpreter or any interpreter?
One second.
Take
Anybody
your
needs interpreter? Spanish? Negative, ma'am.
Thank
No, we
you.
do not. Thank you.
Conti?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Paul Ryan? No? Okay.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sure.
Have a good day. I put 10 days, Mr. Reedy, on Craig Crandon for the psychological evaluation. What did I say, Ms. Patrice? Do you remember what I, yeah, can I just see that? I don't, there's so much on here. You're welcome. Okay. Andres Newbold.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Huh? What about him? It's right here. It's the next one. That's okay. Why, was McDavid before?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have mixed it up. All right, so Mr. Newbold, you have fraud, utter a false instrument, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is a violation of probation. You have a no bond hold. You are going before your division judge tomorrow, Judge Barbara Duffy, at 8:30 a.m. The court does find probable cause. Court is going to order, just get this, no victim contact with Palm Villa Townhomes. Any other special conditions, State?
No, Judge.
Okay, what say you, defense? Anything?
Judge, considering no bond hold, nothing to add at this time.
All right, so we'll leave the 2 bonds in place and no victim contact. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Christopher McDavid.
Mr. McDavid is approaching.
Okay, so before we had attempted murder first degree, premeditated, now we have attempted murder first degree. So this is a change of charge with a deadly weapon. Court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, originally in his first appearance, she kept the $250,000 bond that Judge Merrigan had set on his arrest warrant in place. I'd be requesting that you set the $250,000 bond back in place. You ordered no victim contact with J.A., no possession of any firearms, weapons, or ammunition, pretrial GPS level 2. Would also just note, Your Honor, he was actually arraigned earlier this month before Judge Bober. This case was designated to career criminal court, and he had his arraignment has a calendar call scheduled for January 25th of next year.
Yes.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, the $250,000 is something that Mr. McBride can't afford. He's been in custody, I believe, since October 1st. From what he advised me, he was working prior to him being arrested. He doesn't think he has that job open to him anymore. He said he made about like $25,000 per year. So it would take him about 10 years of work in order to come up with the bond. So that's something he cannot afford. He lives in Miami where his rent is about $800. So I'd ask you to take that into consideration to release him on a full monetary bond.
All right, so no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials J.A., no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. So he has a GPS level 2. I'm gonna leave the bond at 250,000. Thank you. All right, let's go to the second looks. Let's start with the misdemeanor ones. We have first person on the list, page 1, or page 2 actually, is Jesse Wilson, please.
It's an MO.
It's an MO.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why has he been in jail so long? It's an MO case. His name is Jesse Wilson. Judge Cohen actually signed this. He's on probation. I'm sure you're representing him on that, Mr. Reedy. Would you like the case number? It's a 16 case.
Looks like he was sentenced 2 days ago on this, Judge.
It's a 3/18/19.
Yes, it looks like he got 100, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Mr. Wilson, but it looks like he received 180 days Broward County Jail. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
And that was what, 2 days ago?
Yes, sir. Tuesday.
So we no longer represent him on that, Judge.
All right, so will this violate him if he resolves it?
No, ma'am.
Just wanted to make sure.
He's not on probation anymore. It's already been
Terminated.
resolved. He got 180 days.
Okay. You want to resolve this case today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything else pending anywhere in the world?
No, ma'am.
All right, want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, withhold, court costs, $78,
Yes, ma'am.
6 months to pay, or I'll give him 1 year to pay, partial payments accepted. And if you don't pay, sir, you get a hold on. If you don't pay, I have to just tell you, you get a $25 late fee, driver's license will be suspended, and it'll affect your credit. Good luck, sir, you have 30 days to appeal the sentence.
You have a blessed day, too.
You too, sir, good luck. Okay, so Jesse Wilson is done. Oh, let me get Mr. Wilson back.
Yes, ma'am.
I forgot to ask you the most important thing. You want to waive your right to an attorney. You have the right to have an attorney appointed to you.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to waive it? Okay, good luck. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail on this case. Thank you. Okay. Arsenis Vasquez, please.
He's here present, Judge at Maine.
Okay, he's sitting here on a $500, two 250s.
Actually, I believe 250. He went ahead and resolved the TC and received a time served. So the only thing that's holding him is a $250 bond for driving.
Is that correct, Kevin? That's correct. Ms. Patrice. Is his license suspended? offender for anything drug or alcohol.
Who is this, Your Honor?
Mr. Vasquez, on page 4 of the second look document.
It's actually it's page 2 of the misdemeanor. Because he has a possession of controlled substance, it's saying. So this is typed on here incorrectly. No, the MO is the controlled substance.
I believe he was ROR'd on the municipal ordinance, which was 18-11438 MO10A.
I have it, thanks. But they still put that one on this docket, so I'll just cross it out and go to the felony one. This is the extradition. Go to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know offhand, Your Honor.
And what else? Just this one?
And Judge Mark Vasquez is on the top. They were all in order, but I put that.
Thank you. I have his driving record here. He has it suspended for 11 for support. Bunch of Miami-Dades. What can he afford in bond?
Judge, as you can see, it's $250, so with the bond, I believe it's gonna be $100 in custody. He was been speaking with his girlfriend. She's trying to see how she can come up with the $100 bond, but he's still here, so I'd ask, he lives in Miami Gardens with his girlfriend. He's a carpenter by trade, so I'd ask, considering, I'd ask for an ROR and the alternative, release him to pretrial release.
What does your client do for a living? What does he do to support himself?
I'm a carpenter. I'm self-employed as a carpenter.
How much do you make?
Well, I make about $150 per day sometimes.
How often do you work?
About 4 or 5 days a week. Sometimes 4 days a week, sometimes 5. Depends. It depends. It's up and down, you know.
What kind of car do you have?
It's a 93 Chevy S10. It's a classic.
What do you think it's worth?
It's worth, or I don't know, 15,000 maybe.
I'm gonna keep his bond in place on the first one, on the second one. He resolved it, so all he has is this one for $250.
Thanks, Judge. Good luck, sir.
Amber Wright,
North Broward.
Approaching, Your Honor.
thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
She's also on the felony docket, Judge.
But the police officers that arrested me said they were gonna turn it into a misdemeanor. They told me I only had to be here for 1 day, so I don't know what's going on. They either lied or what.
Yes.
And should I be compensated for their lies? Because, like, they didn't have to lie to me.
I remember this case, Mr.
Yes,
Well,
Judge,
yesterday.
this is the case we're trying to get Miss Wright into the House of Hope. And I just received the application for her yesterday. Corey Hill has been assigned as her public defender to represent her. I'm sending the application to him so he can get it to Miss Wright so she can fill it out, so she can send it back, so she can get into the program. Ms. Wright indicated to me earlier today that she does not want to go to a program. She would rather have a bond set Or
Okay.
I
past
did not
picture.
say that. I did not say that. I said I do want to go to a program. It's better if I get a job, you know what I'm saying? And like do something out in the community because, you know what I'm saying? I really do want to, like, me being out in the streets, I'm having a hard time getting a job, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing what I want to do. So, like, if I get a job or something like that, I might make my lifestyle a little bit more stable, you know? But how long is all this going to take? How long would I have to be in the house of hope? Like how long will all this take?
Probably 6 months, a year.
6 months to a year, really? Because I do have a daughter, like, you know what I'm saying, that I have to raise. So,
Okay, so fill out your application for House of Hope. I'll deny it without prejudice at this time. And put a message in through the kiosk to speak to your public defender when you're approved for House of Hope. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
thank you. I don't get it. I'm not going.
Sandra Steffens.
Step back inside.
Paul Ryan. Okay. All right, so Ms. Steffens, you have a DUI, second one, DUI with damage, 1,000 and 1,000. Tell me why you can't pay the bond.
I can't get access to my cell phone number.
Why not?
They said it's dead, so they can't reach to my contacts.
Who is it that you were gonna contact? Do they work? Can we call their job, maybe look it up?
That I don't have. I tried calling my old boss just to let him know that what's happening. I had a bondsman call, sorry.
That's all right. So who do you live with?
I rent.
Do you live by yourself?
Roommates.
Can your roommates post the bond, anybody?
I can't say for sure.
What do you do for a living?
Dental assistant.
Where?
Boca.
What are your work hours?
I work part-time. It varies. It could be like 3 days a week, or maybe 2.
Do we have a driving record on her, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
I can tell you. It's- Your Honor, I can tell you she is the listed owner, registered owner of the 2019 Toyota that was.
Do you lease or own?
As finance to own.
Do you have any money in the bank?
I do not.
You don't have any relatives that we could try to get in touch with?
I do not.
Hello. Good. Hold on, we're gonna take a break. My concern isn't Mrs. Steffen's appearance in court, it's her drinking that I'm concerned about. Well, I don't think that we need to be that, but I would go for random testing and standard pretrial. I don't have, Madam Clerk, do you have an order on her? Sandra Steffens? I don't have it here, maybe you wanna look.
This is nature.
Pardon, it's misdemeanor.
Right, I just have a discipline, that's all.
Oh, I see.
Did you need a blank order?
I'm gonna put her on, why don't you give it to me and I'll fill it out? Okay, so I'm gonna release you, but I'm gonna release you on pretrial services. I'm not gonna require a bond, okay?
Thank you.
But this is what I am gonna order no alcohol or intoxicants and random testing at your expense. Okay, on count one, I'm gonna put her on standard pretrial supervision. Count two, I'm gonna ROR. And count three is no charge, which means no bond required. I'm gonna do no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at your expense. Prescription medication is allowed as prescribed. So here's the situation. The deputy's gonna give you a map. You have to go to pretrial services within 24 hours. But you can't drive until you get your driver's license resolved. And now you have this DUI. But I can tell you, your license is suspended because of liability protection, because of PIP insurance. So, ma'am, you don't have to respond to me. You also have it looks like support delinquency of child support or something. So those are two things that you have to take care of. So you can't drive till you get a driver's license, but you're gonna have to report within 24 hours of your release to pretrial services. If you don't, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest. So you're gonna get out tonight sometime. You're gonna have to go there tomorrow they close at 5, but you have to get there like by 4. You're gonna have to call in addition to that, twice a week, and report 1 time a month in person, no reporting after court. Deputy, can you give her a map in front of me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm printing it out.
Thank you. All right, so no bond's gonna be required, ma'am. Good luck to you. Look for your court date in the mail. It's up to you to keep up to date with your court date. If you don't get it in the mail, you can go to browardclerk.org, and you also have to go to the public defender if you can't afford a bond, if you can't afford a private attorney, but it sounds like maybe you can. That's it. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So what do you need, Ms. Patrice? I thought you said hold on for me.
No, I was talking to the guy calling me from the
You're welcome. All right, so that concludes the misdemeanor docket, and then we have the felony one. So we have Ayo Rayford.
North Broward, approaching.
Thank you, Deputy. Okay, Mr. Rayford, you have $2,200 in bond.
I can't afford that. I just recently lost my job with Miami-Dade Water and Sewer, and I really couldn't afford that. I can do whatever you need me to do to show up to court, report every day, whatever you need me to do to show up to court. I will do it if you.
Okay, I understand.
Judge, Miss Rayford has been a resident of Florida for 15 years. She stayed at the same location. She lives with her mom and her 3 children. She can verify the address, and I have a phone number of her mom that could be used to verify that. Prior to the job that she just lost, and the reason she lost that job is that she got hurt, she worked for the clerk of courts in Dade County for 9 years. I understand that she has no prior criminal history.
Your Honor.
She has 2 cases here.
And Your Honor, I'm going to be
Yes.
asking that the court keep the bonds in place. This is the case where, in the not in custody case, she allegedly tried to cash a forged check in the amount of $1,400. In the new arrest, she was found, and it's really aggravating factors here, she was found to be in possession of
A bunch of checks.
well, no, a lot of stuff. One woman's Medicaid and voter information card, as well as 8 debit cards. Another woman's social, ma'am, excuse me.
Don't say anything, ma'am.
Another woman's social security card and 5 credit card and debit cards. Another woman's.
Please don't say anything at this time, Miss Rayford.
They were put in my purse. My purse was in the back seat, and I was riding with a whole bunch of people, and they were put in my purse. I would never do that purposely.
I must encourage you not to discuss the facts of this case, Miss Rayford.
Okay.
Okay. Another woman's Florida ID card, 19 blank TD bank checks, and 3 debit cards. Another person's Florida driver's license. Another man's Florida ID card. Another woman's Florida's driver's license. Another woman's Florida ID card.
7 different alleged victims. I get it.
Well,
No, I get it. I just looked at it.
and 5 cell phone SIM cards from assorted providers were found in her wallet.
Yes, those were.
Don't say anything, Miss Rayford.
And that's why it's so relevant, the allegations for the non-custody case, because it's the same type of offense. Check forgery, using other people's information.
There's 2 of them, actually. I see, okay. Anything further, Mr. Reedy?
Well, it's still her first contact with the criminal justice system, Judge, and I understand that there's a lot of...
She actually has a 2017 case on page 3.
Yes, these are the first 2 times that she's had contact with the criminal justice system, and it looks as though on the 2017 case... I don't know who's representing her. Who's representing you on that, Ms. Rayford?
No one, because I didn't have any idea about anything in 2017. I was still working with water and sewer in 2017, still living in the same place. I had no idea about any of this is the first time that I've ever heard of this information.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna respectfully deny the motions. Let her go before a division judge. Get a public defender out to speak to her and let her go before her division
I
judge.
believe that we, just so you know, Miss Rayford, we sent someone out to interview you today. Did you meet with anyone today?
No, I never met with anyone.
Well, they may be on their way to meet with you a little later on today, okay? And then you can go in front of your division judge, Judge Cholera, and I'm afraid you're going to have to address those issues there.
And I'd like to do a medical screening. I think she might,
I just don't know what's going on.
just do me a favor and do a medical screen.
All right.
Thank you. All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Alexandra Dominique,
This is a motion to release, Judge.
okay? It's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery.
Yes.
Where is she? Alexandra Dominique, Paul Ryan, she there? Conti, well, not Conti, North Broward.
There she is, Your Honor.
Hello, you're Miss Dominique?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, you're here today for a motion for ROR. Your attorney filed saying the state hasn't filed formal charges.
Yes. I just have one moment, Judge. Your Honor, the state has not filed an information at this time, so she is entitled to an ROR on these charges. I would just ask if the court could advise Ms. Dominique that there is still a no contact order, and that applies to the alleged victims SG and VZ.
I'm sorry, VZ?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, so here's what happened today. The state did not file formal charges yet, and they're telling me to release you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but here's the thing. It doesn't mean that the state can't file charges in the future, okay? So you can go to browardclerk.org and look it up, but you are gonna be required to have no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials SG or VZ. Do you understand? All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you and have a great day. Ike Torres, please. North Broward.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. You're here for a second look. You have two $1,000 bonds. Have you called anybody to try to pay your bonds?
Yeah, I can't get in touch with nobody. I wanted to know if maybe you can do pre-trial, because I do have a job. I work for Solution Construction. I don't want to lose my job. You know, I do work Monday through Friday.
Hold on a second. So, did you call anybody about posting bond, or?
I have called, but
And what
I can't get in touch. I can't get in touch with nobody.
What's the number?
The number 954-648-3440. The public defender said he tried to call my mom, but she works. She's very busy. She's always, you know.
Where does she work?
She works for Celebration Cruise Line. She's a general manager for Celebration Cruise Line.
What's your name?
I'm a construction operator.
What's your mom's name?
Susan Torres.
All right, let me give her a try, Judge. Maybe we'll...
I mean, maybe pre-trial release, something, Judge. I mean, I don't want to lose my job.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Brian.
Relevant, I don't need to know what open container.
2012, he had two separate felonies. One was burglary with dwelling with
Well, he said he did make an admission that he messed up and knew the car was stolen.
But
I'm just making.
no, I know, but
Every time I make a statement, everybody comments.
well,
So just hold on. So let me ask you, Mr. Reedy, what is it that you're asking for?
I'm asking for pretrial release without the necessity of a bond, Judge.
You're asking for pretrial release standard or GPS?
Standard.
Okay. What say you, Mr.
I'd ask that the bonds be kept in place. I'm just looking at the details about this fleeing and eluding. Yeah, he made an admission once he finally got caught, but he certainly took every effort to avoid capture until that point.
Okay.
Your Honor.
I wouldn't say anything right now, Mr. Torres.
All right, sir.
Where do you live?
5034 Southwest 40th Ave, Dania Beach, Florida.
How long you live there?
About 4 years.
With who?
I've lived there with my uncle. I mean, I haven't lived there. I recently been out of prison now a year, but I've lived there with, he's lived there 4 years, but I've lived with him there since I've been out of prison. And you don't have to worry, I will show up to pretrial, Your Honor. I will be there. I'm not playing no games. I need my job. I was scared. I suffer from...
Don't say anything else about the facts of the case, Mr. Torres.
Okay, I'm sorry,
This is
sir.
not your trial, man. Everything you say here is going to be used against you later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's your uncle's number?
My uncle's number, I do not know it by heart. If I knew it, I could call him and try to post bond. I have no numbers. No, only number I know is my mom's number by heart.
Where's your uncle work?
He works for the same company as me.
What's that phone number?
I don't know it by heart, Your Honor. I don't even know my work number by heart. All my numbers were in my cell phone.
All right, well, this is what I'm going to do. So,
Please, anything to help me.
I'll put you on a monitor, and I'm going to give you a curfew. And your address, they're physically going to go out to the address that you stated, which is on the booking sheet. And they're going to have to verify with your uncle that you can live there.
Okay.
Is he going to agree to that?
So they're going to take me there?
No.
How does it work?
Pretrial services goes before you're released, so they'll go today or tomorrow. And they go and they knock on the door, and if they're not there, they will leave a card, correct, Ms. Patrice? They'll leave a card and a letter at the front door, and they'll tell them to call them, that they have to verify your address, and verify that you can live there. If you're telling me, and that's why I'm saying I don't want to have to go through all of this, if
Can
you're
you
not...
contact Can you contact my mother again and try to call her to verify it?
No, it's gotta be verified with your, whoever lives at that residence, and you're saying that's your uncle.
So there's nothing else I could do. There's no other way. There's nothing else.
You can
I
pay
mean,
the
is there any
bond.
other besides that? I can't get regular pretrial. Anything? I mean, I don't know.
All right, sir, this is what I'm gonna ask you to do. That's what the deal is. Why don't you speak to him, Mr. Reedy, and find out what the situation is, okay?
I think we know the situation, but I'll call him.
All right. Hit the button, sir.
Do I talk to him on the phone?
Yes, hit the button.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have the address, Ms. Patrice?
You said it was on the front of the building.
Yeah. Huh?
53rd.
Yeah.
What comes to court date do you want to be
City of Southeast First Avenue and Broward Boulevard. Because this started in Hollywood.
Alluding.
Southeast.
So that, I think it's 1 and 2.
Hold on. Let's see something.
Oh, 2 and 3?
Started.
Well, on here, it has grand theft auto as 1.
Southeast First
Does it
Avenue.
matter on here? Yeah, it does matter on here. No, it is 1 and 2.
This started in Hollywood.
Ms. Patrice, on this sheet.
Right. No, we took down to East.
So the
Broward
grand
Boulevard.
theft auto and the fleeing and attempting to
I'm saying
elude.
it isn't just down the street.
No, no.
Yes, ma'am, and I'm gonna give him a curfew.
No bond necessary.
No, but we're gonna find out now. I don't wanna waste your time going out there. Yes, ma'am?
On Tuesday, you forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
That was my mistake.
Thank you. All right, while you're doing that, let's go to the main jail. Who do you have? Call it.
Mr. Harry Fauner, and he is on page 4 of the second look felony docket. He's being held just on level 2 Elmo, so it's pending verification, judge, on a, I believe it's a felony petty theft, judge. Unfortunately, Mr. Fauner advised me he is homeless, he has no place to live, no place to go, so he doesn't have a location. But we're going to be asking you to reduce it, the provision from level 2 to standard pretrial, and ask you to have him report basically once every week in person, and besides that, call in at least 3 times per week, so he's constantly being supervised and has interaction with pretrial release.
He's not, first of all, he's not going to be constantly being supervised. We'd be objecting to standard pretrial. He's being held on 2 felony thefts. His last one, he just pled out November 12th, and he's got 6 this year now.
Yeah.
Actually, 7 now.
Did I write on that sheet, Devin? The magistrate sheet? You don't have to give it to me, you can just tell me if I wrote anything special on there, Ivy.
It says 1,000 feet from the parking lot.
Okay, all right, that's it. All right, so. You know what? I'm gonna deny the motion. I don't know if he has a drug problem or what the issue is, but you said he has 6 prior arrests?
He's pled out. He has pled out 5 thefts this year, and now he's got 2 more felony thefts pending. Harry Fauner.
All right, so obviously there's something else going on. If you gentlemen want to figure it out, and if he's eligible to go to a program, if drugs are an issue or something else.
If we could somehow manage to have him evaluated by First Step, and First Step would agree to pick him up custody to custody, with the court being inclined.
Only with the GPS. He's got to, I don't care where he wants to go with the GPS. Anywhere he wants to get a verifiable address, he can go.
Thank you, Judge.
But if he does want to do a custody to custody deal, then, I mean, if he is going to go to a sober home or someplace like that, it's going to have to be custody to custody. And I am going to write in the order that he has to follow all rules and recommendations of the program.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay? So do you
Yes,
want Mr. Reedy to call up somewhere or set this for tomorrow?
First step, and if we could, I guess, just reset this for tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to deny without prejudice.
Is he possibly going to get in the first step?
And ma'am, can we reset this for tomorrow?
Well, Your Honor, is there realistically any way he can get in the first step by tomorrow?
No, just let's see if he can get in there. They're going to look into it. We're not going to sit here and call First Step and go through all of this, so I'm going to reset him for tomorrow.
No, I agree. I'm just
He can say he can live anywhere. I don't care as long as it's verified somewhere. I think it's great he'll be going somewhere.
I'm not objecting to that. I'm just.
Reset him for tomorrow. And when can he pick him up? Who is this? Joshua?
No, Joshua Brockhart is a medical reset. He was on this morning's docket. He was a medical reset then as well, so I think he's going to be on the docket again tomorrow.
So you want me to put him on for tomorrow?
Well, Joshua Brockhart,
Well,
if we're going to
yeah, I would.
He's on the morning doc, so we can leave him on for the morning.
You don't have to reset his second look because his first appearance has been reset for tomorrow.
Oh, I wonder why. I didn't know they did that. Okay.
Yeah. Veselowski.
All right, Robert Velosky. So tell me what's going on here.
It's a $2,500 bond on a dealing stolen property. Your Honor, stated actually requested a bond increase to $5,000 because of Mr. Veselowski's history. We're going to be requesting that the court take no action at this time. It's actually a $2,500 bond plus a pretrial GPS. His history: 2017 felony theft, 18 months state prison. 2016, 2 counts of uttering a forged instrument and grand theft, 18 months in state prison. 2016, possession of heroin, 18 months state prison. 2015, 2 counts of uttering a forged instrument and theft, 18 months state prison. 2011, 2 counts of burglary of a dwelling, 4 counts of felony criminal mischief, 49.5 months state prison. 2011, grand theft and burglary of a structure, 49.5 months in state prison. Additionally, Your Honor, I'm not confident that even if it was going to be proposed to let him go to a program, that would be effective, because on the cases that he was sentenced to prison on last year, he was originally on pretrial in those cases. He violated pretrial because he was released to First Step Sober House and was unsuccessfully discharged when he violated the rules of the program.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, at this time, the pretrial release level 2 with Elmo, that's not going to be a problem. He's going to be living with his wife. What is the problem is the bond, the monetary amount, the $2,500. Right now, Judge, I'd ask the court to consider deleting the $2,500 aspect, but I do understand because of his record, Judge, if the court's not inclined, I'd ask the court to consider reducing it to $1,000. He believes his wife, she cleans houses for a living. She believes she will be able to have about $100 at the end of the week. So with the $100, if they go through a bondsman, that it may be able to be done. So at the very least, I had asked the court to consider bond reduction from 2,500 to 1,000, knowing he's going to be on a level 2 with Elma.
I talked myself in on that violation of pretrial.
And Judge, from what Mr. Wasilowski informed me, I believe Mr. Lender stated that he's previously violated his pretrial release, but he's letting me know that he actually turned himself in.
Not because I violated the rules of it, because I honestly had got tired of the program and I just wanted to get the case over with, to be honest with you.
And I believe then he served his prison sentence, Judge.
1 month after.
Yeah, and
All right, I'm gonna deny it. Let him go before his division judge. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. All right, did you have an opportunity to speak to Ike James Torres?
I did, Your
George
Honor.
Broward?
I also had the opportunity to speak to his uncle.
Okay.
His uncle informed me that unfortunately Mr. Torres cannot stay with him.
I thought, how did you get his number?
It was Mr. Torres had an epiphany, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor. Can I say something?
I wouldn't say anything right now, sir.
That would be my advice too.
But you can, I can't stop you, but anything you say can and will be used against you.
I need a drug program. I need help.
All right, well, that's a positive step. So.
Honestly, that's all it is. I'm on methadone. I can't afford the clinic every day. I'm out and about. It's, anxiety problems, family problems, and honestly, I need a drug program.
All right, so.
That can help me. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that, my mom, unfortunately, yeah, she could probably bomb me out, but she's not answering my calls.
Well, she's probably upset with you, but hold on, stop saying stuff. Let's just figure out a solution of where you can go, okay? Because I have a feeling you're going to say something about your case. So I'm not satisfied with this person going to a sober home. So how about James Club? I don't care where it is, House of Hope, Bark, wherever it is. But he's got to go to a residential program. So.
I can contact James Club, Judge.
All right.
You want to reset him for tomorrow? Or?
Sure.
All right, I'll call James Club between now and tomorrow afternoon. Make a little note.
You can also call the other one, JC.
What is it?
The JC House one that you sent someone to?
Yeah,
that's
I think
the faith-based one. I thought
Yeah.
James Club was full.
I don't know. I'll call them and ask them. And I'll call around tomorrow before court tomorrow afternoon and see what I can find out.
I mean, if I could get a hold of my mom, she would bomb me out. I just can't get a hold of her.
I'll try your mom as well, sir.
Do you have her number?
Why don't we,
I do.
But let's go with the drug program. That's what I need. So it's not, yeah.
All right, so let's try to get him into James Club.
All right, let me call around
we'll see
and
you back tomorrow afternoon, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You want to give him the number to call over there himself, too?
Yeah, sure.
I don't have Deb, you can write this number down?
He just got high last November.
You said what's the number?
It's 954-380-1492.
Okay, so reset him for tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, try to call them.
All right. And here we go.
See?
All right, so that one is done.
Exactly.
Nina Rodriguez.
All right.
Okay. Okay, she has a grand theft. Okay, she has $1,000 bond. You want to go first, Mr. Linder, or you, Mr. Reedy?
Mr. Linder can go first.
Looks like she just got convicted a few months ago out of Boca Raton for grand theft and petty theft. And then she was arrested August 28th of this year in Palm Beach on a failure to appear And then she was arrested October 19th of this year in Boca
Yeah,
for a
hi.
theft.
Why is Brian reading up?
Do you have anybody we can call for $1,000 bond?
No, it's only my husband here, and he doesn't even have phone service right now. It just works on Wi-Fi, and all my other family's in Tennessee.
Do you have anybody we can call in Tennessee to post a $100 bond for you?
No, they won't. They won't.
They won't? Okay.
And she has a history of thefts out of Tennessee under the name Nina Chapman.
That was
Ma'am, don't talk
several.
about any facts of your case. When was that state?
Your Honor, let's see.
Like 2000.
2014.
I wouldn't say a word.
Falsifying drug test results.
Nina,
April of this year.
don't say anything, Nina.
So that's a crime of dishonesty. 2011, theft and aggravated burglary. Another theft, 2011. And Your Honor, I'm only bringing this up to take into conjunction with the 3 theft-related matters she has this year alone out of Palm Beach County, one of which is still pending.
Do you have an address that can be verified?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I help my husband. He does Euro tile.
Okay. How do you help him?
I find the driveways that need to be redone, and I go to their house and see if they would like to have their driveway redone in the Euro tile. Then I actually help him stain the Euro tile too.
Is this for Nina Rodriguez that you're on the phone? Mr. Reedy, was that for Nina?
Yes, Judge. I spoke with Miss Rodriguez's friend Eddie.
Okay.
He is going to bond her out. He's working on it right
Awesome.
now. She does have a verifiable address in Boca
Good.
Raton. It's 8 Forrester Lane in Boca Raton.
Okay.
And
All right, so you're gonna get bonded out.
But what if he can't make my bar? Because I don't think he can.
Just said.
What did he say? He could make it?
yeah, he says he can bond her out for $1,000, Judge. There's a problem with the bondsman because they didn't accept his identification because it's not a Florida ID, but he's resolved that matter and he'll be bonding her out today.
Perfect.
Okay.
So-
You wanna put her name down? We'll check your name, okay?
Okay.
All right.
What do you mean check my name?
We'll check your name and see if you're in custody tomorrow,
We're gonna make sure you got out, is what the judge is saying.
okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
so
You wanna
much.
put her on
Okay,
your
good
list?
luck.
Ma'am,
Yes.
so if he couldn't bond me out tomorrow, then maybe I can get released tomorrow in a different way?
Why don't we put her on for a second look tomorrow? But I don't want her held because of that.
I was gonna double check anyway, but sure, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so I'll put you on for a second look tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
And I just want to make sure, Devin, that they don't hold her.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Amber Wright,
We took care of her.
okay. And Merlin we did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. All right, so court's in recess, thank you.
Oh, okay, no problem, deputy.
Let's
okay.
bring them out.
Okay, bye-bye.
North Broward.
No, they had a little miscommunication, that's all.
Yeah, we don't, there's,
But is there someone for tomorrow or something?
No, there was people that were already done, he didn't know that they had already been in front of you, so.
Okay, so I'll turn it on. No one's at Paul Ryan. No one's at Conti, and North Broward is finished, okay?